Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Edit with me. My name is Kelly, and today we're going to be talking about blowing your own mind, as well as editing this beautiful photo and taking it from raw to ready, step by step. Grab something to drink, kick up your feet, and get ready to edit with me. Today, we are going to dive into how to blow your own mind as a creator. So often we focus on the hows and the whys of how to be good or technical or better. But I want to take us a step further this day, sweet friend, and I want to talk about how to blow your own mind. If you were to close your eyes and think about what you wanted your life and work to look like, what would that picture be for you? So many of us probably have a similar thing. We want beautiful images, happy clients, beautiful locations, great styling. But do you actually know the steps needed to get there? I'm talking about real steps here, guys. I'm not talking about, well, yeah, I need to do mentorings and da-da-da-da-da. No. Do you know the steps needed to achieve what you have in your mind? Oftentimes, I find that's where I get the most inspiration from, is what's inside of me and I wish would come out, instead of looking on the outside and wishing to take that in. Does that make sense? What I mean by that is, what do I want to be doing? What do I find inspirational? What do I find wonderful? And when I can harness that, it really affects my work and I start to blow my own mind. There are ways to do that. And we're going to be discussing a couple of those while editing this super sweet lifetime family photo. The first thing I want you to do, if you have a piece of paper or something to write on, pen, whatever you can to write with, I want you to write down 4 big, scary things that you would love to be able to do or shoot or show in the next couple of weeks. Go ahead, and while you do that, I am going to just start editing here, and I am going to be working with a preset today. I'm going to be working in Luminous. I find that a lot of my work lately has been done in there because I love how consistent it is. I'm going to just find one that I love here. I think I might have used Pines for this session. I'm pretty sure I used Pines when I edited this before. Okay. So, do you have your list down? Good. I am going to come down here, and you can see it when I applied that. That is not my golden, normal, delicious tones I want. So I'm going to have to work quite a bit here to adapt. This is exactly what I mean by blowing your own mind. I want to get you to a point that when you look at presets, you use them for what they can be. You don't rely on them for what they are. I'm going to say that again because I think it actually is really important that you hear that. When you look at presets, I want you to be so confident that you can use them for what they do, but not rely on them for what they are. And what I mean by that is when you apply a preset, I want you to know how to fix it. I'm going to say that again. When you apply a preset, I want you to know how to fix it in camera. What is wrong with that preset? Why isn't it working? Why isn't it doing what it's supposed to do? And can you fix it and still get the look that you're craving out of that? Okay, so now by doing those few things, look, completely different image, right? That looks a little bit more like the Kelly work that you guys are all used to. It's because I can take something that goes wrong and fix it and get consistent, beautiful results just by knowing simple things, okay? So that's kind of the first step I want to talk about on blowing your own mind. You need to know the rules before you can break them. You need to be good at fixing things and doing things when they go wrong before you can start pushing them out of the boundaries and breaking them. Okay. All right. Now this also needs a little bit of light here. I want to challenge you, my friend. I want to challenge you in this episode. This is going to be kind of a difficult episode for you as my listener because I'm going to throw some challenges your way. I want you to tell me, and tell me to the screen, write it in comments, wherever you feel the most comfortable. But I want you to tell me how you think your work could change to blow your own mind. Years ago, when I first started, if I had taken a photo like this, I would have been so insanely proud of myself. Compared to what my work looked like before, this would have been like the most amazing thing. I'd be like, oh my gosh, Kelly, you got that natural sun flare. How did you do that? Look at this cute posing. You've got everybody in focus. Nowadays, I look at it and I go, yeah, great. It's great. Except I really hyper focus on mom's eyes and dad's eyes. Oh, I'm going to have to do eye swap there and da-da-da-da-da. Enough of that, right? I would have had my mind blown if I knew that I was capable of shooting this 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 8 years ago when I started. Okay? That's what I mean. I want you to focus on your growth and really appreciate where you came from and where you started and how far you've come now. Okay? So there's that first way that I'm like blowing my own mind, and you may not be blown. You may be like, oh yeah, it's an okay photo, right? Your skill level may actually be higher than mine, and that's wonderful. And I'm so excited for you if that's the case. That just means you're going to have to work a little bit harder to blow your own mind, right? So that's the first thing. I want you really to examine. Sorry, I got talking and I'm not really working. Let me fix that. I want to deepen these shadows here. I want that light to be really, really bright and obvious and beautiful. So I'm going to deepen my shadows here, and I'm going to pull up my whites just a little bit to get the contrast to pop in her shirt and in his shirt and in the puppy's fur. All right, now that's all I need to do. You know, we might do a radial just to bring a little bit more exposure right into the center of our image before we pull it into Photoshop. So here's what I mean by blowing your own mind. There is a very easy way to do that. It's stepping outside of your own way. Book a session. Book a session that scares you. Book a travel session. Book a birth. Book, not saying you have to take this or re-niche or anything like that, but book something that could be amazing and you haven't done it yet because you're terrified. Allow yourself full creative process in that session. Style it, choose when you shoot, choose where you shoot. And it's not a model session. This is giving yourself permission to shoot for just you. It doesn't have to be a model session. You can do this in a paid session. But I want you to focus on creating images out of the camera that blow your own mind. What are things that you guys, if you know me, you probably already know what I'm going to fix. I just fix the things that are most distracting to my eye. What are the things that you, actually, that was it. I might do some clone work up here to get rid of the house, maybe. Let's do that. What are the things that you want to shoot that are going to blow your mind? Do you want to work on really gorgeous, beautiful skies? Go somewhere where there's a huge horizon. That gives you those skies. Expose for the skies, bring up your people and post and watch. Just get out of your own way and watch what happens. Okay? That's what I mean by blowing your own mind. You are a creator, my friend. You are an artist. You are bringing beauty to the world around you. And so often we get caught up in creating for our clients that we forget to create for ourselves. This was the reason you got into this art. This is the reason why you are pushed in the morning to shoot. This is why when you don't have a session for a week, your trigger finger gets itchy and you start getting grumpy and angry and you don't understand what's wrong. It's because you were created to create. I know that sounds so crazy, but you as an artist were given the tools you needed to create beauty and connection and love and art everywhere you go. Let's give ourselves the power, the confidence, and the knowledge to do that. okay? We're working on blowing our own minds. Now, I'm going to stop patching in because I could easily go quite more, but I don't want to affect this beautiful flare, and I don't want to start repeating patterns and stuff. So from here, all I do to finish this off is insanely simple, right? I have a ton of really fun Photoshop tools and brushes I could use, and if I was in the mood and I wanted to blow my own mind here, I really could. There are some awesome things. Let's see, from here down is a Photoshop pack from Chloe, and she does luminous presets. She sold her Photoshop pack over the holidays, and I grabbed it up, played with it a little bit. I'm not super comfortable in them yet, but we're going to give it a little bit of a play and just see. And I am working to blow my own mind. Now, my rich, happy colors and my blacks are doing it for me right now, but I'm going to see if I can bring this a little bit even better. I'm actually going to do Magic Pop and see what that does. Oh, I love that. Sometimes it brings a little bit of a yellow tone to my images, which I'm not super crazy about, but that seemed to work really, really well here. So I am going to pull down the opacity on that. I'm going to flatten that image, and I am going to just come up. Sorry, my computer does not like when I am also recording. Now, she's got one here that I love called Deeper Depth of Field, and it's supposed to blur the background a little bit and mimic having a different lens. So for example, I shot this on a 24, and you know that pushes your, while it widens your lens, it pushes your subject closer into the background. The longer your lens, the further away your subject will be pulled from a background. So if you really want your subject to pop here, you could use this and kind of paint around them. I would not suggest ever using it on 100 because it's pretty heavy-handed, and I think she, when she created that, she meant it to do that. I'm actually going to start here really low on maybe 17, and I'm just going to, oops, we're on the clone stamp. Hello. I am just going to paint that on right behind my subjects and make the background just slightly more blurry. And that's the point with this right here, right? These are the little touches that turn something beautiful, or take your image from something okay to something beautiful. They're not meant to be super noticeable. And I might actually pull it up a little bit because I'm not noticing this is doing a whole lot. But they're not meant to be intense, insane, crazy. It's just meant to be that little touch where all of a sudden your work goes from good to, oh my gosh, how did you do that? That is amazing. Now, I could have shot this on an 85 to get that natural bokeh if I wanted, but I didn't because I'm obsessed with my 24. But there we go. All right, so I'm just going to toggle that off and on. I don't even know if you can see this small difference. You can if you look in the blades of grass. Like look right here when I turn it off and on. So there's off and there's on. And my subjects just pop a little bit more. So I'm going to flatten that down. Now I could just go crazy here and play with all of this stuff, but I am just going to use one more little thing, and that is called Hazy Kiss. I love it. She uses it to add a little bit of sun haze in her images. And I do the same thing. I love it. It's very neutral. It's not overly warm. But this is amazing. So you use a white brush. I'm going to use it, well, I don't know, maybe 38. And I'm just going to apply it up where the sun would normally hit. Now just watch. It's kind of like painting with a light brush, if that makes sense. If you watch what it does behind the trees, it just brings a nice burst of color and light where it naturally would fall. Okay, so I'm not actually changing my flare. I'm just increasing what it's doing. I'm clicking on all the areas that sun has naturally set on. And I'm going to toggle that off and on so you can see the difference. Look at that gorgeous glow. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I love it. One of my favorite brushes so far. I just love it. All right. I think, my friends, this is ready for portraiture. So I'm going to go up in here. I'm going to add portraiture. I have settings. If you want, you can freeze it here to get my settings, but there are quite a few settings you can use. You don't necessarily need to use mine for it to work, but this has just been kind of trial and error for my lens, my camera body, and the way that I edit. So I'm going to apply that and wait for that to take effect super quick. And I am going to come up here, and the last little thing I'm going to do, I have something called Smart Sharpen, and that's from Sujata Setia's But Natural collection. And those are the only 2 packages I even own, y'all. I am not a Photoshop person. And I find, and this is going to sound really cocky, I don't mean it to, but I blow my own mind in my camera with my basic tools. I don't need all these fancy, crazy tools and overlays and inlays and, all that stuff. I find that I can do it plenty on my own. Okay, and I'm just adding a little bit of sharpening there. So, do you have your list yet? What would blow your own mind if you did it? I want you to start setting goals for yourself to do just that. Take a half-naked mama into the sea at sunset. Shoot away. Try different angles. Try different perspectives. Try getting up. Try getting down. Try all of those things. And just watch what happens. We all need those images. Oh, that was my old one. I'm sorry. Here is my new one. Goodness. I've edited this a couple times in preparation for us. So I just want to make sure I knew all the steps. So you can see, let me see if I can start this bad boy. We'll bring him back to where we started from so you guys can see. So there's where our original image was, and here's where we are so far. Okay, now I want to actually pull up the warmth just the tiniest bit more in my image and paint it off my subjects because I love warm, delicious greens. And so I'm going to actually come in here, and it's too warm on their skin tone. So I'm going to actually come in here and I'm going to paint it off of my subjects because I don't love orange skin. I would rather keep their skin tones as neutral as possible. So I'm going to come in here and just take that off. Make it slightly more cool and slightly more magenta. There we go. Oh my gosh. And it's very subtle, but you can see what that warmth did to the image. And guess what, guys? That is done and dusted. So I want you to give yourself permission this week. Do something scary that is going to blow your mind. Do it. Go with that friend, take those shots, create that magic that you've been wanting to do, but never had a reason to. Well, I am giving you permission. Okay. I'm sorry. I was clicking on this the whole time, and this is actually our finished one. My goodness, Kelly. Oh, see, that's what happens when you're going for like 10 hours straight on editing. Anyway, that one's much more impressive, but I do need to paint off a little bit of warmth on their skin still. That was the one I edited for you guys before. Oh my gosh, how funny. Note to the wise, coffee is a powerful tool. Sometimes it's necessary. So I will be making myself a cup as soon as we are done filming. Because I get in these editing marathons and things start to blur together. There we go. That is our finished image. And you can tell, let me go back to that other one because that other one, I didn't apply that depth of field brush and you can see the difference. Look how crisp that grass is. And then when I switch to the one we just edited, it pulls out my subject so much more, right? And it gives it just a beautiful creamy feeling. Oh, I love it. All right. That is where I would end that photo, friends. So I want you to blow your own mind this week. Give me a message, give me a comment, let me know what your idea is, let me know what that looks like for you so I can encourage you. And I wanted to talk about something that is going to be happening. I'm really excited. I put some details down in the description box. If you want to send me a couple of your images for our 25th episode, I'm going to be editing user images, subscriber images on camera for you, and showing you how you can apply this stuff to your own work. Because I know when I first started editing and watching, I just wanted to know what it would look like if I did it, right? Yeah, you take these beautiful photos, but what about on mine? So I'm going to show you that it can be done on yours too. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you want to send me your images, my email is down in the description box and rules and all of that. So go ahead and send those. My 25th episode will be shooting January 9th, 10th. So you've got a little bit of time, but I would love to edit your photos for you. I hope you have an amazing day, my friend. And never forget, you are loved. You are worthy. You are so, so valuable. And the world needs your lens. Don't forget to blow your own mind this week. Give us a follow on Insta. We are now officially on Instagram. Post there daily. And take care of yourself.